Omicron. Yeah. Omicron. Crazy. But it,
that is a Greek.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I never
so.
even heard of it. So that's popping, but it's not in. Well, supposedly it's not here yet, but Israel closed their borders. South Africa. It originated in South Africa. It's in the UK. So yeah, we'll see how that all goes. But I don't know. I don't know. We're definitely in a.
Yes, it's from astronomy. It's like the 15th star. Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's the 15th letter in Greek. It means oh.
Oh, so has there been like 15 variants? And this is just the one that's like actually strong enough to be credible, I wonder? Because why
Yeah.
would they go
So the
all the way to
last
15?
right. So the first 15, the first 15. Some of them were impactful, some of them weren't, and then this one happens to be in South Africa. So
This one has legs. It's coming.
yeah, it killed more than 500 people, so it gets a name. I guess I don't know.
Or however,
I don't know how it works.
Right, exactly. So
it has to meet like a quota of dead people, and then they give it a name.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Anyway,
hey,
so
that's life.
Today,
this is our life.
This life.
And
so
and
today,
we're all.
What's today? Today is the 28th of November, and Stacy told me some crazy news today, which made us think about friends and checking in on friends. But Virgil Abloh passed away via what?
Instagram or what?
He passed away from cancer or a tumor?
Oh, yeah, he passed away from a very rare, aggressive cancer. And I looked it up. It's cancer, it's tumors in the heart. It's like a cardiac something crazy. Yeah. But Google it and check it out. But it's rare. But the thing is that's kind of blowing my mind is that he's been fighting this fight for 2 years.
Yeah,
and
he did
nobody
Boseman.
Yeah, and he's a celebrity. So he kept it private. He kept his battle with cancer private, but like some of the people that are coming out about it, to me, like people he's worked with even, he didn't know of his battle, and so to me, that kind of tells me that he didn't share this information with many people. Maybe his family, his immediate family, maybe his parents, maybe, we don't know.
Maybe, yeah, we don't know.
I'm sure.
I mean, you can't, you have to, because if you're like married to him or if you're his,
they're helping out
child, of course, you see your family member deteriorate. You're like, what's going on? Like, I see you every day. You're like, you look different.
Right. So I'm sure they probably know.
Right. But with the media, who cares? Like, that's none of our business. And
right.
David Bowie did the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. But what trips me out a lot is the fact that like his friends and people he worked with didn't even know. Like, that's big to me. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, you spend so much time with certain people and you don't feel comfortable sharing that information. That's just, I don't know. Like, I'm like, where is somebody who's battling a terminal illness? Like, where's their mind at with why they wouldn't want to share that information with others? Because I feel like if you tell people, they could pray for you, they could think happy thoughts, they can help you with maybe an experience that they've gone through, or
maybe he didn't need it. Maybe they didn't need it. I mean, that's not going to cure the situation, and maybe he's fine with him, Chadwick, David. Like, maybe they were just fine with their immediate family. They didn't need the sympathy of the media or friends or people they work with. It's not, and the other part is you don't want to burden them with that either, because then you're thinking, you're making music, or you're about to read this role, or you're about to, go into the warehouse and make these sweaters. It's like you don't want to burden them with what you have, because then it messes up the game, or the I guess the fluidity of working with these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to burden them with what you have. You know what I'm saying? It's not their problem, it's mine.
Right.
You know
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like certain things in life, especially something like a terminal illness, everybody probably deals with that information differently. But just like the type of person I would be, like, just think about how good you feel when you are going through something really terrible and you're able to just talk about it. And like, I wonder, did he not have those kind of people in his life? Because like, I mean, like we were talking, like a lot of people act like they're your friends and, they got your back or whatever, but in reality, maybe not, and you hear about people in entertainment that are very depressed because they don't trust people or they don't have people they could reach out to, and I just feel like if people had more of a safe place in other people, then maybe they would be more apt to sharing with people who aren't going to judge them, or
But
I don't know, it just seems dark to me.
It's funny how you go there though and not think that maybe they just didn't want to share it so they wouldn't have that burden on them. You know what I mean? Because what if you hear like I have AIDS or something? Like, now you're burdened with me having AIDS. Now you're thinking, when am I going to die? You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want to do that to you. I would never want to do that to you. I wouldn't want you to feel like that weight on your shoulders to be like, man, when Bishop has AIDS, like, or cancer or whatever, like, when's he gonna pass away? Like, you're gonna be worried all the time because you're a friend. That's what true friends do. Like, they're worried about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why other people don't even tell their friends that they're broke or homeless or sleeping in cars and stuff, because they don't want to burden them with their problems, even though they would have been like, oh man, if you had told me, I would have helped you, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
is that like a pride issue?
Like that pride and just trying to save you from the burden. I remember DJ Yeller had the story about he had to like bite the bullet and ask Dre and Ice Cube for help. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the last straw. Like, I've been there too. Like, I had to ask my dad for help when I was broke and halfway homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, that was like the last straw for me. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I see both sides. I think you're right, and I think about like Anthony Bourdain and even like Ali, even Ali. I didn't know he was going to do that, but I knew that he had issues.
Ali who?
But Ali Trotter. What do you mean Ali who?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, but I was like, Ali, like, explain, like, Muhammad Ali. I'm like, what?
No,
I know.
Well, yeah, I know. Okay, because I went from Anthony Bourdain to somebody we knew.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No,
anybody who like
so
committed
Ali.
suicide and they didn't know, and I didn't know. I mean, he's like the second one for me personally, and it's like, if I would have known they were hurting like that, I don't know. Like, I keep thinking about it. For me, I keep like, if I would have known, maybe I would have, had him come out here, work with me or get him a job out here. Obviously he would have a place to stay for free for a few months. Even with my other friend who committed suicide too, I was like, dude, like, I don't know. I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no signs
Right.
of suicide at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when I heard it on both sides, I was just like, it just, kind of just tore me apart. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's no right way to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, you can't, I could easily confide in you about my cancer, but then what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Now you're burdened with my cancer.
Yeah.
Because now you don't know when I'm going to die.
Right.
I'm going to die.
but I think some people some people are strong enough to handle that burden or that information, or who want to be there, Like, you can't just tell that to everybody. Not a lot of people know how to respond to that information. Because, like, honestly, like, when people die, it is hard for me to give condolences, you know what I mean? And it's hard for me to sometimes go to funerals. But
I don't go to funerals.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, people have different.
Yeah, I don't go because I don't want that to be my last visual of you. Like, I
Yeah,
would rather
exactly.
the last time, you know what I mean? Like I didn't go to Ali's funeral because of that.
Yeah.
I have all these pictures of him in high school, and us out having fun. Like, that's the dude I remember. Like, all the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see him laid out, dry, whatever. Like, I'm cool.
Like, because they never look the same. Like, to me, I mean, even if you have a great person who does the makeup on the body or whatever, but it's just never at the funeral home. But it's just never them. It doesn't feel like them. So everybody grieves differently.
Everybody grieves different.
But I just wonder. I mean, and I think in everybody's case, it's different how they handle their terminal illness, or how they even handle death or grieving. But I don't know. I just wonder, like, if people did have a safe space, or if they did have real friends that, like, really showed care and concern with more people who are suffering with depression and, like, suicide. And, like, if people made themselves more of, like, a listener versus always just talking, like, would this change?
Yeah, I think
for people.
I think it's kind of different. Like, I think if I had cancer, I would probably talk to more of my friends about it. But if I was depressed and suicidal, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me scratch that. Okay, if I was depressed and suicidal, I would probably definitely talk to somebody, because something in me needs to express that, right? And maybe some people who did commit suicide just didn't have that. And as a friend or a parent or a relative, like, you'll always think, like, what could I have done, even if they did share? Like, what would be different? Would I, obviously I would convince them not to and listen, but it ultimately falls on them. If I had cancer, if I was dying, I probably would not tell anybody. I would just probably slowly, like, give my stuff away,
really
sell my stuff or whatever. Yeah, I probably wouldn't, because I don't want you guys to feel bad, because if I know that I'm dying, I don't want you guys to feel that weight and burden. I don't want you to go through that with me. I'd rather go through.
But it's a part of life. It's a part of life.
And I know, but you don't have to take that ride with me, because you'll be watching me deteriorate and all this stuff the whole time. Or, I want you to go on with your life and have fun and keep going, and let me and my family deal with this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and if that's selfish, then I'm thinking about you guys. So it's not on me. For me, it's not selfish. To you, it's probably selfish, because you're like, "Dad, I didn't know, like, Bishop had this." And if you would have told me, it's like, what if I would have told you what? You know what I'm saying? So then the whole time, let's say this lasts for, 3 months, and I'm slowly deteriorating, blah, blah. You don't see me for 3 months. Maybe you call, whatever. I text you back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then I finally pass away. You missed all that. I let you miss all that to get here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
you didn't have to see me deteriorate. You didn't have to see me, like, sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember me like this. And that's all you need. I'm saving.
And
you
I respect that. Like, I would have to respect a person who decided to go that route. But I had to be there for my cousin. I was the last person with my cousin before he died. And like, I had to be there. Like, there was no other option. And then, like, my aunt, I watched her decline in health, and that was a long progression. So it's like I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there for them in a silent, helpful way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I think people should maybe give people the option but like I said, but if you don't have anybody that you feel safe with, then it's much
Those,
more difficult
those are
because
also family members. Like if with me, I wouldn't do that to you. It would be my sister, my mom, my dad, maybe even my cousin. I wouldn't put you through that. We're, you know what I'm saying? We friends, but I never let my family deal
but
with that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like
No, no, no.
you did a good thing. You did a good thing like for your family. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? But for your
But
friends, you do the same thing for your friends?
I would, and I mean, like, I'm trying to think. I haven't
Even if
had
they had their own people with them, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have to do that.
right, but
You know what I'm
if they,
saying?
I would let them know if they ever needed me
Oh,
in
absolutely. I do the
some
same
way.
thing.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, then I would definitely be there for them in any capacity that they needed
Yeah.
me in. Because some people, you know, they might not have family, but like, okay, just like in this situation, in Virgil Abloh, you know, Chad Boswick, like
Yeah.
that's
They
on
probably had
such
family.
a
They were good.
yeah, but that's on such a high level, and then the
Mm-hmm.
news when it hits that they're dead,
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
that and think about how crazed American fans are, you know, or global, just people who praise celebrity, like
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna like that's a big blow to some of these people. You know what
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Especially
Like
if you're a
just
fan. Yeah.
like you don't under you don't you some people aren't able to comprehend like just what you're here and you're gone. Like the
Yeah.
here today, gone tomorrow thing, like is really hard for some people to deal with mentally. So I just feel in that situation for their fans, this is a very dark day for a lot of people who had no clue that this amazing, I mean, Virgil Abloh was like at the top of the top of the top for every, as a Black man to infiltrate fashion, high fashion, luxury fashion the way he did, whether it was good or bad or original or whatever, he was in a lot of different rooms, and he also catapulted a lot of people's careers. You know what I mean? Like a lot, like the Fear of God guy, he gave him or helped open a door for
Or
him.
Jerry Lorenzo. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry Lorenzo, you know what I mean? And like just I mean, Vashti, like he knew all the people that we've grown up knowing to be influencers. Like he influenced open doors for a lot of those people of color. And, you know, like he's like a big deal. And for people to like have this person and know that they're gonna be there for him tomorrow, and then you get the news that boom, they're gone. Like, I don't know. I just feel like having people prepared, like a lot, it involves everybody. Like, you know, like people need to be prepared for certain situations. I mean, it's not his responsibility, but
Yeah.
to tell fans, like it's not. But I'm just
Yeah.
looking on, like people. This is surprised a lot of people, and that shock and awe is a lot
I
for.
mean, I mean, you saying the celebrity thing, this also makes them human and vulnerable, right? You know, here today, gone tomorrow. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
like
I can easily be like, you know, David Bowie, you know, Chadwick, um, you know, fucking Isaac Hayes. They inspired me a lot, but them passing away, it hurts, but I didn't know them. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Michael Jackson, you know, Prince was a big one for me,
Yeah.
you know, but I did not know them. You know, I seen them live or once or twice or whatever, but it's like, it's none of our business. You know what I'm saying? It's none of our business. Song
Yeah,
couple.
but just in such a connected social media world, like people make things their business, you know, like especially if you're a celebrity and
Yeah,
somebody
and that's on them.
as
Yeah.
yeah, as amazing as him and some of the other people that like you said, the Anthony Bourdain one, that was a big one. Like what?
That was a big one. Yeah,
Like
that came out of
you
left
dealt,
field.
yeah, like you were dealing with depression. Like you are loved, you know? And like
Yeah,
maybe,
successful too. Like
yeah,
had a
like
good show. You
exactly.
know, he was good. Like what happened?
Or even Robin Williams, that would just pop in my head. Like that was a big deal for me when he passed too. It was like, what? Like, but you hear that a lot of
Yeah.
people that are like comedians, they do suffer with a lot of heavy things. So, I don't know. But I just think it's really necessary for us to check in, like let people know, like we need to usher in an era where people are authentically or genuinely interested in what's happening in people's lives, not to be messy, not to have their problems be entertainment and you go and gossip about other people's lives, but just to help people get through life. And because we're all human, we all have mental illness, we all have thoughts, we all have desires and pain and whatever. And I don't know, like it would be nice to be able to have a close comrade that you could share everything with, for sure.
Yeah, and it's a far cry, but if you're one of those people who are, trying to is opportunist and try to just be friendly just to make, to have like what do you call it? Options or, assailants or whatever, you're not a friend. If you're one-sided and you're, spilling your guts to a person and then you won't let that person spill their guts to you because you don't want to hear it, or you're kind of like, man, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all about you. You're not a friend. That's not a friend. And that's why people don't share things with certain people. Like for me, like I'm very scary, like, or scary and cautious. Like I don't, I'm like a brick wall. It takes a jackhammer and Thor's hammer,
So why are you like
to
that?
get through my wall.
Why do you think you're
Because
like that? Is it
I
past
don't trust people.
experiences? But because people have
It's
hurt
definitely
you?
past experiences. It's
Oh,
even
okay.
even with small talk. Like I hate when, like, let's say I'm at work and somebody's, ask me, oh, how'd your weekend go? How'd your Thanksgiving? I don't tell them anything. I'll be like, oh, it was cool.
Because it's like, do
Like
you
I don't
really
go
want to
into depth
know?
because I know, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because I'm a filler for you. Because as soon as somebody else comes by that you know better, you're gone.
Or you want, yeah,
in
yeah.
mid story.
Or they're asking you that so that you prompt to ask them how theirs was, and then they lay everything on you.
I
That's true
hate that.
too.
I
I know
hate that.
that happens.
Oh, mine was cool. How was yours? Yada 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 yada.
Right.
5-page storybook. I'm just
Okay.
like, what? That's why I
Yeah.
avoid too. I kind of like get my coffee. Oh, it's cool. How was yours? Okay, cool. Okay. Well, I gotta get go back to my cubicle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it because we're not friends. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You don't ask me anything else. You don't ask me about my life, my anything else. You just come. It's small talk. We're here at this. We're here.
So
Getting coffee. Like I'm not that guy.
so what would it be in a friendship to make you feel comfortable enough to share with? What are you looking for in a friend, or what would be necessary in a friend, or even in yourself, to be a place of safety and a real friendship? Like
Comfortability.
what is a friend? you
Yeah. What
know
is a friend? Like to me, a friend is somebody who genuinely, like, if I have a conversation with you on Monday and then we talk again on Thursday, you bring up what we said on Monday. Like, let's say I brought up like my favorite candy, and Thursday or even the next week, you're like, oh, I remember you like Tootsie Rolls. I got you a Tootsie. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, and vice versa. Like me actually wanting to remember what our conversations and stuff, because I can tell, like, I'll bring up stuff to certain people and they weren't paying attention. And I'll be like, yo, I told you this, on Sunday, like blah, blah, blah. I was, oh, I wasn't paying attention. My bad. I was like, oh, that means to me that is, you don't care.
right.
You know what I mean? Not that you have a bad memory or anything, F that. Like, if you cared, you would have remembered.
You wouldn't have had a bad memory.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
It's
have
like having a
forgot.
date.
You wouldn't
It's like
have,
being on
yeah.
it's like being on a date and your date sincerely was like, oh, I
into
like this
it.
girl, or I like this guy. I'm
Eyes are
really into this
locked.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so if somebody said, oh, I love to sketch, the next day we go out, I'm getting you a sketch. Here's your sketchbook. I bought you a sketchbook because I remember you said you like to sketch. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, you have to put in like it's a date. And if I see that you're like really into what I'm about or whatever, and then I can do it now, I can really take you seriously, vice versa. Now there's always liars, there's always outliers, there's always people who are trying to, take advantage of other people because that's their survival mode.
Yeah.
And I'm cool, that's understandable. For me, I gave you a little bit what I had. And when I see your true colors, then I'm out.
Yeah.
You
Like it's
got test
definitely
the waters.
it's the intentions behind the action. You know what I mean? Like if they gotta know, they have like people have to just
Woosah,
be a
did you woosah?
friend. Yeah. People need to just be a friend without wanting something from
Without
you.
benefits.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
That's when it's sincere, like, yeah.
That's a genuine relationship.
Yeah.
A give and take.
Definitely reciprocity, definitely.
Yeah, not
even
just
even
take,
without
take,
it, like
take.
like yeah, even if like if I give you 10 and 20, 30, $50, you pay me back. I mean you, like you pay me back when you can. Because to me, giving you $50 is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you that. I'll give you, whatever you need to accomplish with, because I know sincerely you will try to pay me back. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I see you buying shoes, I'm gonna be like, yo,
can I get my money? You buying shoes? Was that for?
No, I mean, even with that, I'll just be like, yo, she'll pay me when she pays. I've had friends do that to me, and I'm like, nigga, why you buying shoes? You owe me like $200. Like, you buying Converse right now? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we still cool. But I'm just saying, like, that's kind of selfish and janky.
Yeah, people are faulty. Like that is like janky. And if you brought it up, then it would be a problem. Like on you for bringing it up, like asking for your money or whatever. You're not thoughtful. Or I don't know.
Happened to me too.
Like how people. Yeah, like people be flipping it around.
I have somebody who was my friend for like 3 to 5 years. Like, we'd go places. I drove, she let me drive her car and everything. And then she needed $300 and I gave her $300. And that was like a decade ago. Yeah. And I ain't seen the 300, or I haven't seen her either.
Oh, damn. Right. Yeah, man.
So like,
people are dirty.
What was that?
Yeah. It's almost like a lot of people have different views on giving money and all that stuff to friends. And you really, if you're going to give somebody money, just know that you may not get it back.
You might not get it back. Yeah.
So don't give a lot.
I say the limit for me would be like 50 to a bill. Like 10, 20, I don't care about that shit. 50, I really don't care about shit. When it gets past that or 100, then I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. If it's gonna hurt you or hurt your wallet, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, because you don't know how that's gonna come back, if it ever comes back. It's kind of like,
you don't know if they're gonna ask you again.
Yeah.
Remember that 30 you gave me? Can you give me 60?
Right. Yeah. But it's kind of like, when you give to a homeless person, like, you don't question what they're going to use it on. Or if you're giving to the church, you're not going to question how they're using the funds. You hope it goes to the right cause or whatever. So that's the thing about being a generous person. You have to give to not receive. And if you're giving a loan, you have to loan it knowing you may not get it back. And that's just,
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
Some things will never change.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that if people were more genuine, more people would be, more people, like a real friend, people would share more intimate details.
I think there'll be less. I think that, and there'll be less suicides. There'll be less depression. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can creative to have a creative outlet to spew out, what's going on inside, And I think a friend is very healthy to have. I used to think, for me personally, I used to think like, oh, I could write my thoughts out. I have, books on just poetry, just spilling my guts. But it was better to talk about it
Yeah.
to somebody, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, and
Yeah.
who would give me feedback and ask me questions and really was into what I was saying.
Yeah.
And that helped me out too, because I was depressive and suicidal at in one moment too. And me talking out my feelings, writing definitely helped. I'm just gonna say that too. Writing, playing music, drawing that definitely helped me out. But then the other part of it too was talking about it.
Yeah,
And that's what,
exactly.
and that's why, I love, I'm glad I have parents, I gotta have friends, like you and and people listening to me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To talk about things, because it's healthy. Now, some people just don't have that. And
Well,
God, man, and for me at a time like as old, not, I don't say it's old, but I feel open. Like I'm like, people I meet at work or else, whatever. I genuinely am curious to hear their stories, even if I don't
mm-hmm.
share mine. Some people, for some reason, will share theirs, and I love it. I
Mm-hmm.
love to hear people's issues, problems, where they came from, what they dealt with. I talked to a Mexican lady at work who she was like the nigger in her family because she has dark skin. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that
Mm-hmm.
in the Mexican culture, like having dark skin can make you an outcast,
Mm-hmm.
just like Black people.
Right.
And that flipped me up. You know what I'm saying? And she learned
Yeah.
English by watching TV in Canada. Like her life was incredible. She dealt with racism too,
Right.
being a
Yeah.
dark skinned Mexican. It was a great. She has a great story. Like it could have been a movie, and
Right.
she's like right here at my job,
Yeah.
just chilling.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
that's, yeah, a lot of that is like your spirit and your energy. Like people will just
Gravitate.
somehow know. Like I remember I would go to the gym and people would just come up to me and start talking. It's like, what? So I don't know. There's something there, like energies and vibrations. Like people are attracted to the healers and the listeners, and you know what I mean? Um, and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I just like
like
to hear
like you were
stories.
saying, oh sorry, what were you saying?
I was saying I just like to hear stories. Like I would love to get like coffee with a stranger. That's what I was like thinking when I was at Norm's. I saw this dude walk in by himself. I was like, man, I would love to hear a story. He had a lamp, 5 o'clock shadow. You know what I'm saying? Baggy pants. You know what I'm saying? Everything was dingy but not dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like could be homeless, but maybe at a halfway house. He had a limp, so he's injured. Maybe he was by himself. I was curious to hear his story. I was just going home like, dang, maybe I should have stayed and chopped it up with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have loved to hear his story.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now, especially out here in LA. Like, there's
Well,
6 million stories in the big city. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah. And like a lot of people need, like you said, need somebody to talk to, but don't have anybody to talk to. So that's great that you you are like that. Because I don't think a lot
I
of
just
people
don't,
are like that.
I just don't like. I'm not. I'm
You're
not.
not scared
I'm
of
not a
people
open.
or
Not only
something.
that, but I'm not like an open book. Like I'm not like, hey man, you have something to talk about? Let me hear it. You know what I mean? Like
No,
I'm
people
not also.
usually just, yeah, they'll just
Yeah, but
start
I'm also
talking.
not putting myself out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another step that I need to take.
Oh,
Like make
to,
myself available.
yeah, yeah.
Because people can
Because,
look at me. I'll have headphones on. Like they're not gonna want to bother me. Because I have
right, right, right.
maybe next time I go somewhere, maybe I just take them off. You
It's
know,
so funny. I used to
you know
always
what I
say
mean?
that. Yeah,
Be
no, it's,
available.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's so funny. I used to always say, like, I would be walking downtown Los Angeles with my headphones, and I'm like, if somebody tries to talk to me with my headphones in, they really don't want anything because they're gonna try to hustle me or sell something to me. You know what I mean? But it's just, I don't know. I used to think that was funny because every time somebody would interrupt me while I had my headphones on, it was because they really didn't want it. They were trying to
Yeah,
scam me,
man.
basically.
A good story I have is when I had a friend, stay with me out here, and he would be going to different places, and he would just sit there. And I don't think he had like a headphones or anything. He would have a book or whatever, and he would come, back to the crib and tell me stories of how he's just sitting there reading a book, and some girl came up to him and started talking to him, or some guy, he just started talking to a guy because he had a book in his hand. He's like, oh yeah, no, and then the guy turned out to be like a director. You know what I mean? Like all these things all these people he would meet. Like the girl was a model and just showed him her naked pictures, or all his pictures, and some of them were naked. I'm like, this never happened to me. And this guy was here for. This happened in like 6 months of him, staying with me, and and venturing out in LA. And I'm just like, man, like, that's amazing.
And that just shows me that people are looking for people to talk to.
Yes,
like, if
but not only
strangers,
that, but they're looking for. I was just watching an MC Light interview, and she said something like networking or being connected.
Yeah,
this is
fellowship.
You're making connections. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one time I was on the train, I saw this girl crying, and I was like, in my mind, I made up a story. It's like, I wonder if she's like stuck on the train, like she lost her card, and here I am with a second extra card that I would have gladly gave her, but I didn't talk to her because she's crying, and I don't want to, like, I always think the worst. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, if I, leave me alone. Why are you talking to me? No, I don't want it. I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't talk. And I could have saved her if that was the issue. But also could have been, maybe she broke up with her boyfriend. Maybe she, doesn't know what to do with her life. Depressed, maybe she just got fired. I definitely can't help with that. I could be an ear, but I can't help you get a job, or you know what I'm saying. But if it was the card, I could have gave her the card, but I never knew. So now I'm from this happened like 5 years ago. I'm still thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because what if I wish I was that person to do that, have that extra drive. That extroverts are like that. Like, I wish I was had that extra drive to just be like, hey, are you okay?
Well, maybe do it. How about make that your focus?
I just take the L. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. How about you just make that your focus? Like, not like a New Year's resolution, but like you could start tomorrow.
Or just a like, personal resolution. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just see what happens. It might be.
Because my friend does it. And the response that he gets, and he doesn't go like, oh, what's wrong? Tell me your story. He doesn't do that. He'll just be like,
hello.
Oh, like, no, the happy Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, you too. Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you. They have a great day. Oh, you too. You know what I mean? He does stuff like that. I don't do any of that. I don't do that to that extreme. He's very, very
friendly.
I won't say charismatic, but friendly. Yes, he's very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And
that could change people's whole course of the day, though.
It does. It does. You ever see those stories? There's this guy who has a sign up, free hugs and something else, right? And then this guy has, I forgot his name, but he'll put flowers on the ground and he'll say, take a flower and get a free hug And people will give him a hug and just hold him tighter and be like, oh,
like these,
on, man? He's
I'm like, telling you,
like people, and this one girl did it. Oh, this was a good story. This one lady gave him a hug, took a flower, gave him a hug. And he was like, are you, and he could feel her hugging tighter. And he goes, what's going on? Let it out. It's okay. You okay? She goes, yeah, it's been a really tough day. He's like, okay, all good. Just know that you're loved and you'll be okay. The next one, her mom saw him and gave him a hug, and she started crying because she was like, I'm the mother of the girl or the woman that you gave her a hug, and she said she had a tough day and she's really been going through it. I'm so glad that you had this opportunity. And he was like, oh yeah, I didn't know what was going on with her, and she hugs him, and it's like it's just a beautiful thing. So like humans need connection. We're just so jaded because, especially if you live in a big city, or money's really
it's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but we do need that connection.
Well, they say they say that the longer like you live longer when you have that human connection, or if you're getting hugs, and
Yeah,
if you
because you're
even
just
have an
not
animal,
stressed about it.
yeah, like it
Yeah.
helps.
Even if you
It
have a
helps
dog or
to
a cat,
have
yeah.
get
Something
to
else to
be
take care of.
touched. Yeah, it helps to be touched.
Yeah.
Like it's all like we need that as humans,
Yeah.
and that's what's kind of scary. Like I'm almost, well, this thought just popped in my head. I'm like, what if social media is like the Antichrist? Like that's keeping us away from coming together and like being more, I won't say the Antichrist, but being more like whatever it is, humanity is,
It's definitely
it's
antisocial.
changing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah.
like they're like with the metaverse and like where everything's going, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, like none of that has human touch. And we're gonna lose that if we constantly just stay online. And that's a problem. I think that's gonna be a problem for humanity. Like we
It's
need,
it definitely like pushes us away from each other, because I remember there's a story with a Taylor Swift fan, a Swiftie, who was telling during, because she when she redid her Red album, and some fan was talking shit to John Mayer and said, I hope you die. And then John Mayer actually responded to that fan, and she was like, oh no, I didn't mean that, like I didn't mean for you, I don't want you to die, oh, I'm a big fan, blah blah blah. Like how many fans or ordinary people have done that to celebrities, to where the celebrity then responds and they totally do a 360, because they never expect that celebrity to respond to them, because they celebrities are kind of untouchable. But so I say it to say, like, they don't see them as people, because I'm not connecting to you on the other side. I don't we're not friends, we're not talking every day. But when they finally make a connection, you realize that, oh, this is like a real person.
right.
You
And
know what I'm
and
saying? This
even that
celebrity is a real
person,
person.
yeah, and even that person to leave a comment like that, they have their own trauma. And that's something that I think we should
What's
probably bring
young
up.
people too, though, and
Yeah, but
trolls.
they're wanting a reaction, or they hate themselves,
Well, they never
or
expected John Mayer.
they're
She never expected.
projecting.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, even to say that was just kind of out of pocket. And like
Sure.
people need to really self-reflect and like take time to like, some people call it shadow work, some people call it like looking at your demons, or your weaknesses, or whatever. Like
So
we
people
need
need to
to,
self-reflect.
yeah, we need to self-reflect, and we need to become whole also.
But even with that,
as
like
as we look to get into conversations with other people, like we have to work on ourselves. Like you can't expect other people to completely fix you, but you also do need to, like, people need to start reflecting first too,
but I also think you can't
or
really
at the
do
same
that.
time.
I also think you can't do that without help, like therapy, meditation. If you're religious, having an actual uh, person to help you with the words in the book, Quran, Kabbalah, Bible, whatever religion you choose. Just have a pathway or a way to direct those feelings and those conversations. Because if you don't, and you talk to the wrong person, you could easily go left, which is the negative way, instead of going straight forward. You know what I mean? It could send you back. Like therapy is good because you could have somebody who you don't know. You could voice your
And not judge
thoughts and
you,
opinions or whatever,
and
and
be objective.
not just, but not only that, but like, you know, uh, pinpoint where it's all coming from. Like, why are you telling John Mayer to kill himself?
Right.
Why would you say that about another human being?
So you're saying like
To be
people
a
don't even
celebrity?
recognize, yeah, like people don't
Yeah,
even
they don't. I mean, look at
recognize.
all the people. Look at all the kids right now who are on TikTok talking about, I cheated on my boyfriend, or get that money, or it's all about this or that, or have sex with how many people you want to, and all this like toxic behavior. But they're not hiding or anything. Like because they don't feel like nobody else is going to see this. They're not famous people. You know what I mean? But then you have YouTubers who are like looking at these, everybody's looking at them, and they get hype off all the views they get. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? It's like self-validation. You know what I mean? They're all getting negative comments, and then probably more than positive. It's like, why do they have this toxic behavior? One, two, why do they have this impulse to share that? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Social media is just making celebrities out of nobodies.
Right. Well, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a lot that's all embedded and entangled. And that's why I say we do have to seek help.
I think everybody should talk to somebody.
Yeah. Look into your own ways if you're able to reflect like that. But if you're not, then reach out to people, because there's people out here who want to help. And if you don't have a friend, I mean, they have different hotlines, if you're dealing with like suicide and real depressive stuff and you're all by yourself, like hit up those hotlines, like for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, since it's on YouTube, hit me up. Tell me your story. I would love to hear it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have all the answers, Sway, but
right.
I would love to hear what's going on, and maybe we can figure out something without you getting mad at me. You know what I mean? Just know that I'm not a therapist, but I would love to hear the problems, because all the YouTube channel or hosts that I know, they're getting requests from everybody, and they didn't expect that to happen. People who are like in the manosphere and sharing their thoughts and concerns and reacting off of videos. They have regular dudes being like, how do I become a better man? How do I do this, get myself out of this hole, blah, 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 blah. And these guys aren't professionals. They don't have any degrees in anything dealing with your emotions or your behaviors or whatever.
Yeah. But experience is the best teacher. And we all go through behavioral things, and we all have a testimony where we can help others of what we go through. Like, you don't need a degree to help and listen and talk and try to figure things out. Like, and that's what this whole podcast is about, is, for us to just figure things out together, because there's so many different schools of thought, theories, opinions, bias, all that. But we're just eagerly trying to figure life out together. And people.
And I like what you said about where you advocated more on my self-reflection, but like with that to help, for my advice to people to self-reflect is to meditate. Like, sit somewhere, chill, get some chakra going. I use YouTube for the meditation music, put that on and just like sit and chill, lay down, chill. You know what I'm saying? But you sit, chill, and be conscious of where you are. You just quiet yourself, and you'll find a solution inside. You've had it inside of you the whole time. For me, I really do think people know what they need to do. It's just,
I don't know.
They feel like they need to hear it from somebody else. And what I'm saying is,
like, confirmation.
To you, right, man, exactly. What I'm saying to you guys is, what you need to do. Like, you should stop eating McDonald's. Right. You should stop smoking. You should go, to
the gym,
church, to the gym, or to church, or meditate more, or you want to call your friend up, but you're being stingy because you're like, well, if she's not calling me, then I'm not gonna call her. No, you call her.
Yeah, and be the, like, almost not say be the bigger person, but just take the first step. Like, I think we're in a place where we need to be more active, because there's a lot of people. Yeah, here today, gone tomorrow. Like,
showed that. Adrian showed you that.
Yeah, like
Ali showed me that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like we got to do more to change the course of our communities, our friends, our circles. Like, somebody has to do it, and once you do it, other people might feel comfortable enough to do it. Like, in fact,
spread the love.
change. Yeah, exactly. Like, but somebody has to be the first person to reach out. Somebody has
definitely. I will always remember when I went to this meetup. I know everybody's familiar with meetup.com, which I advocate people to go to or use.
Best place to meet. Find like-minded individuals.
100%. I went to this meeting and it was, meetup, and it was over, and they're kind of like pressing us to talk to each other. And I didn't like that. So when it was over, they're like, okay, you're free to leave, but you're also free to stay to have coffee and whatever they had, cake or some crap. And I think a good 5 or 7 of us left. But I feel like those 5 or 7 were like me. Like, don't pressure me to talk. Like, the reason why we're here is because we can't meet people. But I feel like if I just grabbed those 5, 7 people, I was like, yo, I didn't like how he was pressuring us. Yeah, me neither. Man, listen, you guys want to go to or you want to go, because we're all there for the same reason. We all want to meet people here. We left early because we didn't like the guy. How about we all must be like this on the same page? Let's go meet up over here. And you know what I mean? I wish I would have done something like that. And I always regret that.
Right, so but there's other opportunities, you know what I mean? Like,
so that's what I'm saying. Like with that, like I always try to give a knowledge branch more. So you know what I'm saying? I could try to read the room and I'll leave if I'm not feeling it. But if I feel somebody wants to talk to me, I make myself available, take the headphones off, you know what I'm saying? Like I try to just be more available.
Yeah. And like
I don't want to miss an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Because like me, I'm always like all about organic connections and just let things flow. But I might be missing out on a lot of great people.
Yeah. Maybe you might be the organic piece that's missing. Like you could have been the glue or the magnet that put these people together.
Yeah. So like now I think because I'm getting closer to where I want to step out more, because this pandemic isn't going anywhere and I'm ready to be out in the world. So I definitely think I'm going to be more social and not just let things happen organically, but to actually connect with people, because like I haven't been able to connect with people in 2 years really.
That's why on that level. That's why I was telling you about was it Friday? Because I was amped, man. I went out. I went to a bar. Went to the rooftop. It was fun. And everything was random, And I was with a friend who was was with it and was down to keep going and stuff, and we were on the same page, and it was just cool to just be out. And
like I appreciate
and see other people.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think now going through this pandemic, I appreciate being able to connect with people and, and just not take things for granted anymore. And just kind of assert myself in certain situations and talk to people I wouldn't normally talk to, because we haven't had that opportunity.
Yeah, even with me, like I want to go out more, go to different cafes I haven't been to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Headphones off, or I like the earbud because most people don't see it, so they won't know. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Like just be more available to and see what happens. Because
to receive and give.
Yeah, especially when you're in LA, like everybody wants to make connections and network and stuff. I always hear like certain people tell me their stories of how they met another person. Like this one chick I know, when they're both at a cafe, and the chick had a book that she just finished reading, and she was telling the other lady like, "Oh, that's a good book," and the other lady was like, "Oh," because it wasn't like she was gonna go, "Oh, don't bother me," or "Oh, really? Okay, cool." You know what I mean? Like, no, she continued the conversation. Because nobody's that mean.
Right.
I think of like the worst scenario, and it never probably will never turn out the way because nobody
Yeah.
is that effing mean, dude. Not even me. Like I have been that way, but I'm not
But I
that
think,
way. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like
I
it's
think it's
rare.
the fear that people have. Like
It's
everybody's
definitely
like,
a fear.
like a lot of the stuff we worry about never even happens. And another thing that,
Never will happen.
yeah, and
Yeah.
another thing I remember hearing is like, you know, we worry about everything that goes wrong, but what if it goes right? But I think a
You're
lot of
very
us,
pessimistic. I'm very
yeah,
pessimistic.
yeah, like a lot of people hold on to trauma and like their past and the rejection, and it's scary,
It's
But
scary. Yeah.
I think we should just keep trying.
Let it go. Keep trying. Yes.
Yeah,
Keep
just let it
trying.
go
Yes.
and just keep trying because you might
Till your
meet
payment
somebody
goes.
amazing. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm out these streets, this next little season, I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to talk to everybody. It's about to go crazy. I'm trying
to
to
talk to the cashier. She gonna talk to the bag person.
We'll check.
Talk to the homeless person at the corner.
Man, I do that anyways. That was my life too. I love talking to. I talked to a lot of people pre-pandemic, but
oh, you sure did. Yeah, you inspired me to like talk to people. Not only talk to people, or also just to go places by myself.
Yeah. So it's that's why I'm saying like I really took that for granted. I miss people. I miss you guys. I miss people.
Too.
But we need it. Yeah, like people need it. And I think that's kind of the vibes of this next year. And if we feel this way, I'm sure other people feel this way, And if you do feel this way, let us know. Hit us up. Leave a comment.
Man. I love to hear your stories. Not on some like sadistic stuff, but like just on some like, help, or I'm probably on the same page as you, or I've been there. We're 40, so we might have probably been through what you've been through. You know what I'm saying? We can add a little flair to what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think being older too, you do kind of get into a new world and new thoughts and new, I don't know, excitement or new assertiveness. What word I'm looking for? Like you're just more, what you want and you go out for it. You go for it. Like, and you don't care. You don't care what people think. Like
I'm working on that now.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of people do have that issue where they do. I won't say it's an issue, but people do worry about what others think, and you can't do that. You can't do it.
Well, I'm more about like not anything superficial. More about like your reactions if I do a certain thing, because I'm kind of used to negative responses for some reason, and I don't want to like I'm not a fighter anymore, otherwise I wouldn't care, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not into like conflict. I'm into conflict resolution,
right,
or not even starting conflict. So but for the most part, when I talk to strangers, it's always cool. Now sometimes they're kind of ditzy, and
well then you just cut the conversation short.
I gotta cut it off short. Yeah. Yeah.
But just don't waste your time. Like also pay attention to the red flags.
Yeah, that too. Pay attention to the red flags and people who are not on your level or your
thought, your mental. Like when we say level, like it has nothing to do with materialistic. It has to do with all thought to me.
Yeah.
Like where you are at mentally, spiritually.
Yeah. You can have, everybody has an intuition. When somebody wants something from you or is using you or is that doesn't really care about you. You could cut the head of the snake up right there. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking to somebody who's reciprocating conversation and keep going and
see where it goes. Yeah,
see where it goes. If you feel them dragging away, then cool, that's fine. No harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? But if they're reciprocating and it's going further, you keep going. I was watching my friend the other day when we went to the bar. He was talking to the bartender. He cut himself. He went up there when he came back and he asked, was he okay? Like, I wouldn't even give a shit. I wouldn't be like, yo, I want to rum and coke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He actually cared. He's a very caring guy. And I was impressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, maybe I should
Be more
working.
thoughtful, even to random
Yeah.
people, to random strangers, you know? And I think that's true. Like, we do need to be more forward reaching, I don't know, out straight or extend an olive branch, whatever, to people we don't necessarily know, people that aren't like us. Like, we got to shake some stuff up right now and usher in some new energy, because things is too crazy. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We just need better everything all the way around. And you'll miss out if you are still at this age trying to just talk to whoever you feel is like in your perfect little box. Like, get out of the box. Don't even
I
stay
think
in the
people.
box.
I think people are just, and I'm like this too. I think people are just scared to get involved because we have our own problems. Or if you do have money, you don't know who to trust or who's really with you because of you and not because of your money or what you can do for them. It's very
Yeah,
you want to
but
be be very cautious because you don't know what people want from you. And I do
right.
that too. Like uh it's hard to, I guess, decipher who's cool and who's not, and who's really sincere about becoming close to you. And
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of friends. I can count them all on one hand because
And that's
because of that.
everybody. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
everybody.
people also like I have I know a lot of people who aren't doing so good, and it's like, what can I do for them if they ask me? I can't do anything. I'm trying to get out of my own
Right.
hole that I dug for myself. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think people do that too. They didn't want to hear your problems because they're scared to help. If it comes to that, because it's like, I can't help you. What can I do? I can't. All I can do is listen. And sometimes that's
Yeah.
all that matters.
That's all
But some
that's
people will
needed.
go the extra mile and be like, "Oh, well, can you spot me a 10, or can you drive me over here?" You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that's the burden. That's is, I guess, the burden of being a friend. Getting those 2 a.m. calls and like, "Man, can you pick me up here? I don't have my phone. My phone's dead. Or you want
Yeah,
to pick
but
me
you
up?"
also need boundaries, though. People, you have to create boundaries with certain people like that if it's just
Sure.
too draining or too one-sided. Because, like, like, you help people as much as you can, but you're not anybody's answer. And no, you don't owe anyone anything. That you have to kind of find that
Facts.
balance. You know what I
Facts.
mean? You got to find that balance. And
Yeah. I guess I
um,
feel bad when I can't. Even with
yeah, but don't
money,
feel,
like if I
yeah,
can, I feel bad
right. Yeah.
because I should
Yeah.
have it. I should be able to give you
But
50
you
bucks,
don't, but if you
20 bucks.
don't, that's not your responsibility.
That's not my problem. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But you learn those things through life experience, through wisdom, through having discernment, to believing those red flags because you've already been in a situation like that. Because I feel like life is also a lot of tests that just keep coming back around,
Mm.
or it's just your weaknesses or your law of attraction, whatever you believe in. Like, it just keeps coming back around until you change your actions and your behavior and your patterns, and you stop doing that and do something different, and that'll change the direction of your life. You won't keep going through the same cycles, stupid cycles. You know what I mean? Like, it's once you pass something, you go to the next level, and it's like there'll be other situations you'll have to deal with there. But that's just life. Like, life
That's
is
just life.
about,
You're always going to hit something
yeah, it's like
or run into something.
challenges. Yeah, it's
Yep.
always like challenges, and how once you keep continuing to pass these challenges, you learn how to, you have faith, I guess, knowing that you're going to get through whatever challenge comes. Like, I don't know, life is challenging, but you just got to stay in a place of gratitude and just know it's going to pass, and you're going to just get through it. But I don't know. That's just something that I think
Yeah.
of. Like,
So
we're passing tests this year, you guys. We're coming up on a new year. Don't let people not allow you to enjoy the new year. Like, be excited about the new year. Tomorrow, be excited about Monday. Be excited about a new day, a new hour, because every moment you have a new chance to, like, change the course of your life with your decisions. So, just I don't know, do everything that you've been wanting to do it this year. You know what I mean? Like whatever you've been feeling in your life, like just do it. Like stop holding yourself back from due to your anxieties, your fears, whatever. Just do it and watch. It'll be amazing. As soon as you take that little step, it's going to be so amazing. And once you take that little step, you'll see the next step and you'll figure out the next step. And you just got to push yourself to do more in this season, I think.
Yeah, because
at least I
regret is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And
you life live in regret. At least try.
Yeah, and life is not promised, as we're finding. So just make the best of every day, and don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. Virgil Abloh. What a blow. I never was a fan, but I would never wish that on anybody. And he did so much for fashion, and especially a Black fashion designer. And I will never take that away from him. And watch the Von Dutch documentary.
Oh. On that note, that was very interesting.
Is definitely does deal with what we were talking about here as well in the business side of things and friends and business, and it's woo-wee.
Yeah, life. I mean,
life documentary.
Life situations definitely make you skeptical, but you have to let go, and I think that's why it's so important to master the art of letting go and forgiving, because if you don't, you're going to constantly hold that grudge, and it's going to be hard to step out and experience newness because you're scared. And you
won't be able to live. You won't.
Yeah.
What kind of a living is that? You won't be able to live.
Yeah, like you have to. You can't forget. I mean, you. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'll forgive, but I can't forget." No, forget. Let it go. And all that stuff.
I'm like that.
Oh, yeah. But
I forget, but I won't forget. I like you said, because we're older, really. That's our experience.
Yeah.
So I don't want to forget that. Now I know how to move.
Well, I mean, with that particular person or that a circumstance, like let it go, because another one might come, and you have to have a clear mind to deal with that or whatever.
But that's your experience, so you won't forget that, but you do forgive.
Yeah, experience sharpens a lot of our responses, I think.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? For sure. So, all right. Well, we're talking in circles. Speaking of cycles. So, well, all right, you guys. Love you. Tell your friends and family you love them. And that's it. Like, check in on your friends. Be the bigger person. Be the first person. And stop fearing anything, everything. And just go for it. 2022.
I'm serious. Yeah, I'm serious. If you want to write something down, get off your chest, do it, man. We'll read it.
Yep, exactly. We're out.